Hello everyone, this is Kayvon Atkinson, and today I'm here to talk to you about beta-casomorphin. I'll go a little bit over its structure, and then I'll talk about some of the health benefits that it can provide. Now, beta-casomorphin structure is dependent on its form, either beta-casomorphin 7 or beta-casomorphin 5. Both have the same N-terminal amino acid sequence. Now, the N-terminal referring to the nitrogen molecule that is in the amine group that is at the end of that sequence. Now, that same amino acid sequence in both forms is tyrine, proline, phenylalanine, proline, and glycine. But the B7 form has an extra proline and isoleucine attached to it. Now, either form is derived from different types of beta-casein proteins that are found in milk. Now, the beta-casomorphins amino acid sequences, along with other milk-associated bioactive peptides, which are alpha and beta-lactoferrin, are considered atypical. One reason being that their structure only requires the tyrosine to be located, attached to the N-terminus, with the phenylalanine located at the third or the fourth spot. For example, the alpha and beta-lactoferrin, their phenylalanine is located at the fourth placement in the peptide chain, where beta-casomorphin, the phenylalanine, is located at the third spot in both forms of the chains. Now, in contrast to typical opioid peptides, the three molecules that these typical opioid peptides, which are internally made, the amino acid sequence always starts with a tyrosine, glycine, phenylalanine attachment to that N-terminus part of the chain. Now, beta-casomorphin is considered agonistic on opioid receptors in the brain, meaning that their structure allows them to bind to the opioid receptors in the brain and send signals to dopamine terminals, where the dopamine is stored and released to release more dopamine, and also for the receptors, or the dopamine receptors, to accept more dopamine. Now, dopamine, we all kind of know is kind of like a feel-good molecule similar to serotonin, but it does produce a wide variety of health effects in relation to beta-casomorphin, in contrast to antagonistic opioid biopeptides, which would actually reverse a lot of the health effects that I'm about to explain. Now, beta-casomorphin's health effects, like I said, is from the increases in of the dopamine release. Some of the health effects include prolonging of gastric emptying time, which halts peristalsis, which I had mentioned in my bioactive carbohydrate video, is the movements of the gut. Now, this delayed gastric emptying time is really good to help manage blood sugar for type 2 diabetics. The delayed gastric emptying time allows for delayed glucose absorption, so this is why they're able to manage their blood sugar better. Now, the delayed gastric emptying time is also associated with different gastrointestinal related hormones, such as somatostatin, which further delay peristalsis. And the somatostatin combined with insulin, or is actually combined with an insulin release to further help manage blood sugar, especially after ingestion of foods. Now, the slower gut movements also contribute to an anti-diarrheal effect, along with reduced intestinal secretions. Now, the reduced intestinal secretions are thought to be from beta-casomorphin's ability to absorb high amounts of water and electrolytes. There are some pain-relieving properties from beta-casomorphin ingestion, which, like I said, is from the increase of dopamine release and acceptance. Now, the pain-relieving properties can come with some behavior modifications as well. Now, research has shown that beta-casomorphin intestinal absorption is reduced in adults versus babies. Babies tend to have higher beta-casomorphin absorption rates, but it said in adults the absorption rates can increase during times of stress, and I thought this was interesting. Maybe that's why a lot of people tend to kind of stress eat dairy foods, and it's a possibility that their bodies kind of know that the ingestion of dairy foods will help release these opioids, these opioid-like compounds in their brain and make them feel better. If you have any questions below, feel free to leave them, and thank you.